Hey there, it's Anna. Today we are getting into the psychology of sexual tension. That's right. Ever wanted to know how to create that electric spark with women? Well, I will be revealing the secrets to building unforgettable tension that's both thrilling and irresistible. And by the end of this video, you will have the know-how to captivate and maintain this powerful connection. So, ready to turn up the heat? Let's jump in. The power of suggestion. Mastering the art of suggestion is key to building unforgettable sexual tension. Now, your words should paint a picture, but not the whole scene, leaving her mind to wander and fill in the blanks. So, for instance, casually mentioning how you find a certain behavior or trait incredibly alluring can set her mind racing. It's about dropping hints that invite her to think more about those intimate scenarios without explicitly stating them. This approach keeps the conversation charged with an undercurrent of sexual energy. Proximity and personal space. Physical proximity plays a huge role in escalating sexual tension. Gradually reducing the physical space between you can intensify the atmosphere. It's all about finding that sweet spot where you are close enough to feel the warmth of each other's bodies without actually invading personal space. This could be as simple as leaning in a bit closer than usual when talking, or choosing to sit next to her in a setting where distance is the norm. This subtle invasion of personal space can really make that interaction much more intimate. Push and pull technique. The push and pull technique is a psychological strategy that involves giving her attention and affection and then just momentarily pulling back. This intermittent reward system creates a sense of longing and desire. For example, after a deep, engaging conversation, you might choose to give her some space the next day. So this absence makes her yearn for the connection and attention, thereby intensifying her feelings and the sexual tension. Asymmetric intimacy. Sharing personal information asymmetrically can create a powerful dynamic. Here's how you do it. When you reveal something a bit more intimate than what she has shared, it creates an imbalance that often leads her to open up more to rebalance the equation. So, this could be as simple as sharing a personal story or a secret desire which invites her to also share something personal about herself. It's a way of deepening the connection and building trust, while also intensifying the sexual tension through shared vulnerabilities. Delayed compliments. Holding off on compliments until your second or third interaction can create an intriguing dynamic, because when you finally do offer a compliment, it's perceived as more genuine and thoughtful because it's not a standard pickup line used on first meeting. For example, saying, "You know what, I've been meaning to tell you, your passion for art really stood out to me," during a later interaction suggests that you've been contemplating her qualities, making your words much more impactful and sincere. So this approach plants just a small seed of attraction and curiosity in her mind, intensifying the sexual tension. Strategic absences. Knowing when to momentarily distance yourself during an interaction can powerfully amplify sexual tension. It's like a cliffhanger in a compelling story, just as she's getting absorbed into the conversation. A brief, quick withdrawal leaves her craving more. Now, this could be as simple as simply excusing yourself to take a phone call or mingle with others at a social event. And when done at peak moments, it's going to leave her with a heightened sense of anticipation and curiosity about your return, adding to the allure and excitement. Ambiguous touches. Employ touches that are subtle and open to interpretation to spark her imagination. For instance, a gentle brush of your knee against hers under a table can be an electrifying moment. Now, these seemingly accidental touches create moments of physical connection that hint at something more without being overt. The ambiguity of these touches can leave her wondering about your intentions, increasing her interest and the overall sexual tension. Use of evocative stories. Share stories that are rich in sensory details and evoke sensual imagery, but stop short of being explicitly sexual. These stories should tap into emotions and senses, painting vivid pictures into her mind. For instance, describing a sunset you once watched on a secluded beach can transport her to that scene, actually creating a shared intimate space in her imagination. Now, this storytelling technique can stir emotions and desires, heightening the sexual tension through the power power of suggestion and imagination. Innocent competitions. Challenge her to light-hearted, innocent competitions, like a game of pool or a cooking contest, because these activities naturally create a dynamic where you can flirt and tease each other playfully, building sexual tension without overtly stating it. For example, suggest a bet where the loser buys ice cream, setting up a scenario for further interaction, and these playful competitions foster a fun, flirtatious atmosphere, allowing for gentle physical touches and laughter, which are key ingredients in creating sexual tension. Controlled exposure. Utilize the power of subtlety and anticipation in how you present yourself physically. For instance, the simple act of just rolling up your sleeves very slowly or adjusting your hair can be surprisingly effective. This controlled exposure becomes a silent show of confidence and allure. It's not about showing off, but rather about creating an air of understated sexuality. And the slow reveal or minor adjustments in your appearance can draw her attention in and leave her wanting more, adding to the sexual tension. Predictive suggestion. Play a light-hearted game where you claim to predict something about her, like her favourite food or music, and this creates a playful challenge and stirs up that curiosity. For example, you can say, "Let me guess, you strike me as a jazz enthusiast?" It's an engaging way to learn about each other, and your interest in knowing her preferences actually adds an intimate layer to the conversation. And this approach also opens up opportunities for deeper conversations where you can explore common interests and of course build a more profound connection. Hypothetical scenarios. Engage her imagination with hypothetical scenarios that are adventurous or romantic. Ask questions like, if you could go on any adventure right now, where would it be and why? So this not only stirs her imagination, but also certainly places you both in an intimate context in her mind. And these scenarios encourage her to think about potential experiences with you, which builds a narrative that's both exciting and certainly charged with sexual tension. It's an effective way to explore her desires and fantasies while also hinting at your interest in being part of those adventures. Selective ignoring. When she makes a flirty comment, strategically choose to ignore it occasionally. This can pique her curiosity and make her wonder why you didn't react as expected. It's a subtle way to keep her on her toes and maintain an air of mystery. For instance, if she compliments you in a flirty manner, you can respond by changing the subject or addressing a different part of the conversation. Now, this tactic should be used sparingly and, of course, balanced with positive reinforcement to avoid sending mixed signals. Playful accusations. Lightly accuse her of flirting with you even when her actions might be very innocent. This can be done with humour and a smile, such as you saying, "Are you flirting with me right now?" The key is to keep it playful and not too serious. And this approach introduces the idea of flirting into the interaction without direct pressure, making the conversation more exciting and charged with the possibility of romance. Double entendre. Skillfully use phrases with double meanings. Now, this does require a bit of wit and timing, but this can be very, very effective in building sexual tension. So the idea is to say something that can be taken in more than one way, leaving her to wonder about your true intentions. For instance, commenting on how things are heating up when you are both engaged in a competitive game or a physical activity. And the trick is to maintain a balance, ensuring the conversation remains respectful and, of course, consensual. Skill display. Demonstrate a skill you possess, whether it's playing a musical instrument, cooking a gourmet meal, or even solving a complex puzzle. The key here is to do it subtly, in a way that feels natural and not boastful. For example, if you are an excellent pianist, invite her to hear you play a piece that you are working on. So this not only showcases your talent, but also creates a scenario where she can admire your qualities and abilities, which can be a huge turn on. So the display of skill, particularly one that involves physical finesse or intellectual prowess, can heighten her interest and admiration, adding to the sexual tension. Shared physical activity. Propose an activity that gets both of you moving, like a dance class, a hike, or a fun sports game. Physical activities can boost adrenaline and endorphins, creating a natural high and a sense of closeness. For instance, taking a dance class together puts you in close physical proximity, allows for playful touches, and establishes a rhythm between the two of you. Now, the shared experience coupled with the physical exertion can amplify the sexual tension, making it a memorable experience. Unexpected assistance. Find an opportunity to offer help in a simple, everyday task. For example, fixing a stuck zipper or reaching out for something high. So the key is to make your assistance feel spontaneous and caring. This creates a moment of closeness in an otherwise mundane setting and can spark a sense of gratitude and connection. For example, helping her with a heavy bag can lead to a moment where your hands touch, creating a spark of tension. Subtle exclusivity. Share something with her that you rarely tell anyone. Whether it's a personal story, a dream, or even a thought, this creates a sense of intimacy and trust. For example, you could mention a dream you had that was a little bit unusual or a little secret about your favourite spot in the city. It's important that what you share is genuine and not too personal or too heavy. This approach makes her feel special and trusted, which can be very alluring. Inquisitive glances. Look at her in a way that suggests you're trying to read her thoughts or emotions and then look away as if you're catching yourself. This kind of glance can be very intriguing as it suggests a deeper level of interest and curiosity about her. It's a non-verbal way of expressing that you find her fascinating and want to know more about her, but without being too direct. And this sort of eye contact can create a moment charged with possibilities and unspoken questions, adding to the sexual tension. And that is the art of creating sexual tension. Up next, explore the sexual traits that women find irresistible or learn about how women sexually flirt with you. Don't forget